All right, now we're live. Aloha, Ohana. Aloha, world. What's going on? Jonah Lioon here, checking in on this beautiful rising day. Aloha rising. Checking in from Dusty Banjo. Still out here, just off Playa, Burning Man, September 16th. And I wanted to stay in level consistency with this live stream and news. As you can see by what I'm wearing, not a whole lot of change here. Change of clothes, change of things. But I did want to update what's going on in the field in terms of what's coming up. This evening, I have a scheduled in interview with Ja, who's our councils, our build lead, one of our leaders here at our Rainbow Warrior um, organization. And we'll be dropping in to sharing, speaking of Rainbow, our infrastructure as a camp that we are putting together into a container. So we'll be going through that inventory today, and we'll have more clear ingredients as to what's going to be in that container. This is all, of course, in full support of our rebuild on Maui. What I'm seeing is creating common space, community space, educational space, edutainment space for the uplifting, planning, masterminding around the rebuild process. So these kind of synergy hubs, if you will, co-creative spaces. So mostly domes is the infrastructure that we're looking at, as well as what can be inside of the domes, and maybe commandeer a couple art pieces to add the color of the rainbow to our structure, add the beauty way. So um, that's coming up. Interview with Ja, dropping in there. And then tomorrow we'll be having, and I'll let you know earlier or later on in tonight's show at sunset, our time. Um, it's about 7 o'clock Pacific Standard. And then we'll also tomorrow have a show with Anna Allen, Jedi Naturalista, who will join us as well from her sacred governance and Regenerathrive and many other initiatives around regenerative uh, building and holistic systems. So those two will be on deck. Again, we'll get clarity on the timing of tomorrow's show tonight, and tonight's show, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As they're looking at, that'll be 4 o'clock Hawaii Standard, and it's about our sunset time. It's a good time for us to decompress because we're out here working really hard right now to just set things up for our future, and continue to coordinate our efforts from Playa onto Maui. So we're grateful for where we're at right now in our steps. We've got a lot done, organized, so that we can move into this next couple of days of focus on this shipping container. Uh, Checking in also, speaking of Sunday, I think maybe we'll be able to squeeze in 2 shows in that because John Kemp wants to drop in on Sunday also. And they'll give us some catch up. I apologize for those out there that have been keeping up with us and the dynamic movement and shifts as to when we're coming on, when we're going live. And it's one of those things that, um, surrendering to time and doing our best to get into that consistency. Uh, this movement, this growth right now, and Hope for Maui, really calling in our allies, contributors. We had a deep discussion again of last night and throughout this as to how we can redistribute our currency, our energy, our abundance, our prosperity, our economy into life valued initiatives, into environmental care, protection, and regeneration and education. It was a big part of our conversation yesterday, because that is instrumental to the foundations as to how we build, and it actually is the true focus of our next generations is through education. I like to look at it as edutainment because we need education that's entertaining and entertainment that's educational. So looking at that fire and that spark and that ignition and how we can bring forth indigenous um, traditions such as rites of passage and other initiations as we grow, as we mature, as we come into our civic responsibilities, learning about radical inclusion and consent along the way. And this is a good start of our into our tree, and becoming a tree. What fruit will we bear? So, um, really focusing in again on the fruit of education. I come from a background of teachers and having a passion for that, and recognizing that each one teach one is the interaction taking place, between the energetic bodies that are participating with one another. So, education, the Jedi Academy, is something that will be rolling out, has already been rolled out, leadership skills training, and it's essentially a um, move, a mechanism. Salute. A mechanism for, I would say, vetting and uh, application efficiency, coming in into the skills and training measures to step into leadership and self-mastery. So as a Jedi Academy is also bringing in that piece of self-mastery, it is really in this inner focus of world peace. Peace on earth is our main objective, our vision, and the academy is an education tool around that. So what we're offering in that, of course, there are all different modalities that can support us coming into that frequency of peace within ourselves, and from there we can then become pillars and frequencies and broadcast emitters of energy and that frequency of peace wherever we are. So essentially we mobilize by being mobile trees, mobile peace trees, tree teas. Tree teas. Yeah. Have some tea. Drop in, sink in with one another. Plant some trees. These are things that can add to our inner peace. Being of service, being in our dharma, being in our purpose, being in our what we're called here to do, what we arrive, what we're born again into, is allows for us to stay in that and sustain that frequency of peace within ourselves. Everything is within, and everything from that becomes what we are seeing as a feedback loop into our process. So, what that really wants to come in, and I'd like to always circle back around how this relates to Hope for Maui. One of my hopes for Maui is that Maui is a peace on earth zone, what we call P.O. zone. And as a P.O. zone, and what makes this a very interesting and intriguing, integral piece, pun intended, is that one of the only ways for us as Mauians, as Hawaiians, as residents of that, and in that way, in this indigenous tradition and native way, to, without perpetuating the unlawful occupation of the corporation that is the United States that took over those islands, our ability to participate, or what we can participate in from an international relations, is peace treaties. Uh, this puts us into a really interesting place and the global scale, or global arrangement, global alliance, because we can actually participate in that. And my hope for Maui is that this would be where we uphold this, where we uphold accountability and integrity of the treaties throughout nations, that we will continue to reinforce, similar to regenerate, right? There's the those treaties that have been signed, um, that have been co-created, and then from there, how do we hold that accountability? So, coming back again, Hope for Maui, Poe Zone, Peace on Earth Zone, when we're rebuilding from that state, and it matches again with the prophecy that is this rainbow prophecy, that prophecy that is the Aloha prophecy, the prophecy of peace will be found in that. And so this is our movement, our play, is where one of our directives as a ministry of peace comes in, and as we bring these resources over and set up these common places, at an instrumental conduction of energy will be that. It was basically this experience that is life. We bring this protocol, this cultural protocol, and these principles of peace into our relations, and we navigate and we move and we conduct and we co-create from there. And my belief is from that we will essentially be rebuilding, and from the reverse engineering perspective of peace is already here, always has been. So how we relate to that, how do we move, how do we shift into that frequency and that vibration? And this is a practice. It's something that there's so many different modalities out there. It's a yogic path. It's a way. We speak about meditation, global peace prayers. Speaking of all of this, let me just bring in the International Day of Peace, September 21st. Opportunity for us wherever we are in the world, that we can sit in prayer with the energy of the world, people within the world, all collaborating and all syncing up to be in that state of consciousness, and pray for world peace. Many communities are going to throw events, gatherings to curate a focused node of peace to be emitted out and create a ripple effect throughout their communities and their regions. Yeah. So this is something that as I'm speaking right now, I see messages coming in from the Jedi Council on Maui. We've looked at this date, this International Day of Peace, on September 21st as a marker to host the gathering. So we'll be checking in on that, where we're at with that. Obviously, we have a few days left, but much can happen in a few days with the grace of God, and in that support and feeling supported by energies of the Most High and our co-creation with that, we can realize a gathering on the 21st. Let's see. Those are some good updates right there in the news as to what's happening here, what's happening on Maui, what's happening internationally. And these 20 minutes goes and news is a good way for us to just really check in. And so I'll continue to practice that consistency of the check-ins here. I'll let you know what's going on in my world, is not necessarily my in the Minosaur world look at it, but rather like what we're seeing, what I'm seeing, observing, experiencing, and that's what perspective that I can share from. And I really look forward to the collaboration that will be coming forth in these next 6 weeks. We're looking at October 31st. Halloween is like our grind right now on all of this. These, and then we'll reassess as to where we're at then. Right now, from today till September, into September is a focal point as well. So, much appreciated once again for the attention and the time, keeping it easier to keep it short in the check-ins and to the point, so we don't have a long revisit. You can go to Hope for Maui, donate, come in to a space of contribution, participation. Once again, I will start to look into our personnel, and at this moment with the donations, contributions, philanthropic movements, fundraising, to one, not only take care of our material, but take care of those that are putting the materials into place, and building. Our build team is crucial, which is why this evening I want to bring in our build team lead, Justin Anthony Heisel, who I had created a camp for the Jedi Academy for Burning Man. This was back in 2018, 2019, to go into 2019, and I had called it JA. Yeah, so it was an acronym for the Jedi Academy. And the proposal for that didn't go through with the org of Burning Man that year, but instead what it manifested into is me participating with the camp that I still am with right now. And the camp lead, build lead, I'm working directly with, his name is John. Right, so like, I just love how the universe is comic relief. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of that comic relief with what we're moving through in our disaster relief here on Maui and throughout. Comedy, humor, paying attention to signs, and sometimes laughing and smiling and having fun with life, even amidst all the chaos, is a way of learning to find that center, that peace within. So, Ja coming on this evening, tune in with us, coming in at 7:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a wonderful sync up and share. And I think that's about it for today, or for this morning, yeah. We're going to drop in. We got this studio podcast kind of situation set up, so I hope you like the decor and trying to, keep it beautiful, even in Dusty West right now. And I'm going to freshen up myself for tonight. So y'all have a wonderful Aloha Saturday, and we'll see you back here later on this evening. And so aloha kekua, hallelujah, peace, love, and bananas.